Ferrari laughed at him, so he built something better. A farm boy, a tractor mechanic, no fame, no money, just anger, and an engine. One broken clutch later, Lamborghini was born. The legend of Lamborghini does not begin with roaring engines, luxury showrooms, or racetracks lined with screaming fans. It begins quietly, far from glamour, in the fields of rural Italy. Before Lamborghini became a symbol of power, rebellion, and excess, it was the dream of a farm boy who refused to accept the limits placed upon him. Ferruccio Lamborghini was born on April 28, 1916, in Renazzo di Cento, a small agricultural village in northern Italy. His parents were farmers, grape growers who lived a simple and demanding life shaped by seasons, soil, and survival. The expectation was clear. Ferruccio would one day inherit the farm and continue the family tradition. But from a young age, Ferruccio showed little interest in plowing fields or tending vines. What fascinated him were machines. While other children played in the dirt, Ferruccio took apart tools, studied engines, and obsessed over how things worked. He was endlessly curious about mechanics, gears, pistons, combustion, and he had an unusual ability to fix broken machines using whatever parts were available. This curiosity would soon set him on a path very different from the one his parents imagined. Recognizing his technical aptitude, Ferruccio pursued formal training in mechanics, studying at a technical institute near Bologna. His education provided him with a strong foundation in engineering principles, but more importantly, it sharpened his practical problem-solving skills. He was not interested in theory alone. He wanted to build, improve, and innovate. Then came World War II. Ferruccio was drafted into the Italian Royal Air Force, where he served not as a pilot or soldier, but as a mechanic. Stationed on the Greek island of Rhodes, he was responsible for maintaining and repairing military vehicles and equipment under extreme conditions. Wartime scarcity forced him to become inventive. When proper parts were unavailable, Ferruccio improvised. Engines had to run, vehicles had to move, and failure was not an option. Ironically, the war, which devastated Europe, became Ferruccio's greatest classroom. When the war ended, Italy lay in ruins. Infrastructure was destroyed, industry crippled, and millions of people struggled to rebuild their lives. Yet Ferruccio saw opportunity where others saw despair. He noticed something critical. Farmers desperately needed machinery. Tractors were scarce, expensive, and often unusable due to fuel shortages. Ferruccio had an idea. Using surplus military vehicles and discarded engines left behind by the war, he began converting old equipment into functional tractors. He designed them to run on cheaper, more readily available fuels. These machines were simple, rugged, and reliable, exactly what farmers needed. Word spread quickly. In 1948, Ferruccio officially founded Lamborghini Trattori, his tractor manufacturing company. What began as a small operation soon exploded into one of Italy's most successful industrial enterprises. His tractors transformed agriculture across the country, helping modernize farming and accelerate Italy's post-war recovery. By the 1950s, Ferruccio Lamborghini was no longer just a mechanic or entrepreneur. He was a wealthy industrialist. Success bred ambition. Ferruccio expanded into heating and air conditioning systems, founding companies that specialized in industrial boilers and climate control. Each venture was profitable. By the end of the decade, he had achieved something few farm boys ever did: complete financial independence. And with wealth came indulgence. Ferruccio loved fast cars. He began purchasing luxury automobiles, especially Ferraris, which at the time represented the pinnacle of Italian automotive excellence. He admired their speed and prestige, but he was also deeply critical of their flaws. Ferruccio, the mechanic, noticed what others ignored. One issue in particular irritated him: the clutch. Ferraris were powerful, but unreliable for daily driving. Ferruccio found that the clutch used in Ferrari sports cars was nearly identical to the one used in his tractors, and it failed often. Annoyed, he approached Enzo Ferrari himself, offering constructive criticism and suggestions for improvement. The response, according to widely repeated accounts, was dismissive and arrogant. Enzo Ferrari reportedly told Ferruccio to stick to tractors, implying that a farmer had no business criticizing a sports car manufacturer. That moment changed history. Ferruccio Lamborghini did not shout. He did not argue. He simply made a decision. If Ferrari would not build the car he believed should exist, then he would build it himself. Not a race car, not a temperamental machine built for the track, but a refined, powerful, comfortable grand touring car, fast, reliable, and elegant. In 1963, Ferruccio Lamborghini founded Automobili Ferruccio Lamborghini SPA in Sant'Agata Bolognese, deliberately positioned near Ferrari's headquarters. This was not coincidence. It was a statement. Ferruccio assembled some of the best engineering minds in Italy. He spared no expense, hiring talented designers and mechanics who shared his vision. The goal was clear: outperform Ferrari not through racing dominance, but through superior engineering and refinement. The company's first prototype, the 350 GTV, showcased a bold new direction. It was powerful, beautifully styled, and technically ambitious. While the prototype itself was not perfect, it proved that Lamborghini was serious. The production version, the Lamborghini 350 GT, marked the company's true arrival. It was fast, smooth, and remarkably civilized compared to its rivals. Critics were impressed. Customers were intrigued. But Lamborghini was only getting started. In the mid-1960s, the company unveiled a car that would redefine the supercar forever, the Lamborghini Miura. With its mid-engine layout, radical design, and breathtaking performance, the Miura stunned the automotive world. It was not merely a competitor to Ferrari, it was something entirely new. The Miura turned Lamborghini into a global icon. Throughout the late 1960s and early 1970s, Lamborghini continued pushing boundaries with bold designs and engineering experiments. Unlike Ferrari, whose brand was rooted in racing heritage, Lamborghini embraced excess, drama, and innovation. Its cars were unapologetically emotional, yet success came with challenges. The 1970s brought economic instability, oil crises, and declining demand for high-performance sports cars. Financial pressures mounted. Ferruccio, who had never been emotionally attached to racing or corporate prestige, chose to step away. He sold his remaining shares in the company and retired. In retirement, Ferruccio returned to a quieter life. He purchased an estate in Umbria, where he focused on winemaking, farming, and enjoying the rewards of his labor. He had no regrets. He had proven his point, not to Ferrari but to himself. Ferruccio Lamborghini passed away in 1993 at the age of 76. Today, the Lamborghini name stands for extreme performance, daring design, and defiance of convention. But behind the carbon fiber, horsepower, and global fame lies a simple truth. Lamborghini exists because one man refused to be dismissed. Ferruccio Lamborghini did not set out to become a legend. He set out to solve problems, to build machines that worked better, to challenge assumptions, to prove that greatness can rise from anywhere, even from a quiet farm in rural Italy. And that is the true engine behind Lamborghini.